that's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did to, oh, why can't oh, someday I wish upon a star, wake up with the clouds are far behind.
First strawberry of the year. I thought everything was destroyed after that second hailstorm, but it made it back and it's giving us a little harvest, and I have plans for next year of how to get a head start on this climate. Seems like we're about a month behind what we used to produce when we lived in town. I mean, we're at a much higher elevation. Our temperature generally stays several degrees lower than Denver. The pumpkins made it and are starting to produce fruit. I've got one there. I think I've got, and a little one starting in there. All of the raspberries are doing great. No problems with that. No fruit. I think the bugs are getting them, but I'm hoping that eventually they'll just get so prolific that there will be enough for all of us. We'll see. They're doing really good in the straw bales. I wasn't sure, but they're doing really good. It's keeping their roots moist, and they like that. I have added coffee grounds and pine needles and things to help with the acidity level. So I'm assuming that's helping because they're looking really good. Our grapes did not make it. Like I said, all of this is just us learning and experimenting because we want to start this on a much grander scale. I just always saw our little campers helping out in the garden and picking fresh fruit as they play and bringing home vegetables. I don't know, that was just part of what I saw when we were dreaming of this place. These tomato plants just started coming up all over. We didn't plant them, we have no idea where they came from. We didn't put any compost in these areas, they just started coming up. All different varieties. There's some cherry tomatoes, there's some slicer, it looks like. Slicer varieties. I have no idea where these came from, but it was such a blessing because they're already fruiting. So if my cherry tomatoes that I planted never do anything, these are at least producing, and they're all over. So we haven't saved all of them because there's too many. Look at these sunflowers in front of the root cellar. They are just going to be so amazing. I'm so excited. And then the zinnias finally started to bloom. This is really cool. I have no idea, once again, what this is, where it came from. I did not plant it. It looks like a pumpkin of some sort. But I almost wonder if it's one of those squash varieties, because there's so many producing everywhere. So if it's a pumpkin, that's awesome. We'll make use of it, but I would love for it to be some summer squash. I forget what they call those. Here's another one of those. I've been calling them God tomatoes because he just cares about the little things. I was so sad that my garden failed, or at least I thought it failed. And I knew that there wouldn't be enough time for the tomatoes to come back and produce fruit, or at least I thought. I'm not sure, you know, that's still up in the air. But these are everywhere. And I just love that about God. He's already made provision for our mistakes and our failures. And it just mattered to me. It was important to me. And I think it's so amazing that we serve a God who cares about those little things, as little and as trivial as they may be. So one of the coolest things happened. This little girl, her name's Honey, she's a Buff Orpington. She went broody. Well, she just so happens to be another chicken that almost didn't make it. One day I came out and she had this massive gaping wound on her head. I have no idea what happened to her. But we brought her inside in this hutch and just took the best care that we could of her and nursed her back to health, and she healed and she did fine. They're really resilient, I'm finding. And lo and behold, she's our second broody, which I just find amazing. Well, I put 4 or 5 eggs under her. And one day I came out and she was up off her nest. We didn't have her in this hutch yet. For several hours she was off and the eggs were cold, so I thought, you know, they might not make it. And it was about 4 days into her brood, so I stuck like 4 more eggs under her. Well, I kind of wish I wouldn't have done that, because these little babies hatched, which is amazing. We have 4 beautiful little babies. But there's 4 still under her, and one of them is cracked open and you can see the feathers. But she keeps getting up trying to take care of her babies. So I am not sure what's going to happen. I'll keep you posted. But I don't think we'll be making that mistake again. I think that, if anything, I'll just let her finish out the 21 days and see if the ones that she left behind hatch. Or make sure that if I put any eggs under a broody, that they all go under at the same time. Because I can tell, obviously I see feathers in that egg, and I can tell that the babies are fully developed, and I would feel really bad if they all die in there. She's on top of them right now though, so there's still hope. She might still hatch out the other 4. I kind of got carried away because it's so cool. But now we're looking at needing to build another coop because we have too many. We're going to have to cull some roosters. It's just the way it's got to be. The reason for that is because I also ordered more baby chicks. I ordered 7. You have to order multiples because you can't just order 1 or 2. They have to ship together to keep each other warm. And there's a couple of varieties that I wanted to focus on. So now I have 7 more coming in the mail in September. So I have too many chickens. How can you have too many chickens? I have too many chickens. Our big, giant Brahma chicken, I don't think anyone's going to want him because he has a broken foot. Oh, there he is. So he's really cool and I love him, but he eats a lot and he can't do his rooster duties. Plus he keeps pecking my foot and I don't like that. So I think he's going to have to go in the crock pot, unfortunately. See, I think he heard that. I think he knows what I'm talking about. They're really smarter than I thought.
What are you giggling at? Hi.
Someday wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind.
Whoa.
Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where